Alright, so in this video I wanted to go over Insulating Concrete Forms, ICF, to give you a little bit of a background about what it is and how to optimize it in a building. There are several brands of ICF. The brand we'll be using on this particular project is called Stronghold, and this particular product will have 2 3/4 of EPS on either side with ties every 8 inches. To put that in English, this is expanded polystyrene, which most people would look at and call styrofoam. And then it has these nibs on it that make it interlock. So if you look at it, it looks like a giant hollow Lego block. And it has these ties. They're spaced every 8 inches, and they have a vertical strip down here, which is covered with 5/8 inches of the foam. But they are marked with the label of the company, so you're able to know where you can screw into it. So you can screw anywhere where those webs are shown. They have straight blocks, they have corner blocks, some brands have angle blocks, and you have different tapers and different various things that they offer, T blocks and stuff like that. Generally speaking, I don't use any of their special blocks because I don't design for it. I like to just do everything in straights and 90s. So speaking of the 90s are 24 inches by 40 inches in a 6-inch block. So when we talk about blocks, we talk about them by their core size. So the distance from this side to this side on the inside, there will be 6 inches of concrete. The total width of the block is 11.5 for these particular blocks. It is 2 3/4, 6 inches, then 2 3/4. In my ideal world, they would be exactly 1 foot thick and be 3 inches, 6 inches, 3 inches. But nobody makes that block currently, so we live with what I can. But if we go to this block and we notice that it's a short and a long, 24 by 40. Now if we go back to the house design here, if we were to start in this corner and we go short by long, and then move down to this corner and go short by long, and keep repeating that process around the loop, similar to the recycle symbol, that what I call a chasing bond, where this side is chasing that way, so it's always chasing its own tail. When you do it that way, it allows you to then on the next course to reverse all of those, which is what you do in any normal case, is you switch them back and forth, and that's what gives you the running bond, which makes them look like bricks. And that's what gives it the structure and stability, so that way you don't have seams vertically lining up with each other. Generally speaking, in a traditional ICF build, you don't worry about the length of the wall. It's not worth it in most cases, because most people care more about aesthetics than they do efficiency, and so they don't just build a giant rectangular box. I care more about efficiency than aesthetics, so I tell them to whatever, and I'm going to do it my way. So I made the house build around the ICF block itself, and if you're curious on how to do that, the math is fairly simple. You take the length of the block, times that by a number of blocks that you're going to have in the wall side, then you add the length of your corners. So in this case, a corner is 24 plus 40, which is 64 inches, and then you add the number of straight blocks that you want. So, and they're all 48 inches long, or 4 feet. So 4 feet times a number plus 64 inches, which is 5'4", gives you an even number that is going to make up for a perfect block set. This particular wall is 37 feet 4 inches, which is 32 feet plus 5 feet 4 inches, because it is 8 blocks times 4 feet long plus 5'4". And the long walls are 65 feet 4 inches, because again it's 15 blocks times 4 feet long plus 5 feet 4 inches. And if you're using 8-inch block, you simply add 4 inches to that, because it adds 2 inches to either side of the corner. They are 26 by 42, and so when you add that up, it's 68 inches plus the 4 times however many you'd want it to be. So if this were an 8-inch house instead of a 6-inch block house, then it would be 37 foot 8 by 65 foot 8. But that's how you do the optimization. But generally speaking, if you can avoid pop outs or whatever, you can make it perfect. But if you have a bunch of pop outs, because the blocks are not perfectly designed to do that, you're most always going to have a common seam, which isn't a big deal, and most people always do it. But in order to make it as efficient as possible and to make it as streamlined for lay people to build it, I am avoiding all of that. And when I'm designing it, it doesn't hurt my feelings to go to 37 foot 4 rather than just 38 like a normal person would draw it. And so I can fudge it around a few inches to make my life a lot easier. I'm going to do it.